Helluva Boss is Vivian Medrano's second project, next to Has Been Hotel, which has been picked up by A24. If you don't know what it's about, I highly recommend watching it, but the abridged version is that it's about the employees of an assassination company called IMP, based in Hell, and it predominantly follows its boss, Blitz. Now, your first attempts at anything are going to be rocky. Go watch my first video if you don't believe me. Ugh, that mic quality. And you can see Medrano's progression from those first rocky attempts at writing an animated series in the Has Been Hotel pilot, right up to the second season of Helluva Boss. She's come a long way, but there is one criminal writing mistake that I just could not understand for the life of me. They wasted this woman, Stella, and she could have been so great. Stella is Blitz's love interest's soon-to-be ex-wife. If you know Brandon Rogers' YouTube channel, she's voiced by this friend of his. That made me smile from the first line I heard come out of Stella's mouth. Stella's husband, is very clearly homosexual and has no romantic interest in his wife at all. Something confirmed in Season 2, Episode 1. It was an arranged marriage, and as well as just being homosexual, Stolas' attention is very much, somewhere else. So, what do we know about Stella? The first time we see her, she's screaming at Stolas over cheating on her with Blitz in their marital bed, probably referring to the pilot episode, which is again replayed in Season 2, Episode 1. I mean, sure, anyone would be upset. In her screaming, we get a bit more insight than what you might assume about why she's upset. She repeatedly directly mentions in episode 2 that Stolas' affair partner is an imp, and she also refers to checking into a motel as a plebeian activity. This tells us two things. Status and acting according to one's station must be important to her, and the way she just glosses over Stolas' brazenness. I mean, he just implied the only reason he slept with another person in their marital bed is because he didn't have time to check into a motel. Wow. It all seems to suggest that her feelings aren't actually that hurt. She knows he's gay. She's angry, but not because she's heartbroken or something about the cheating. She's also revealed to have ordered a hit on Stolas in episode 5 and calls him a cheating prick. This might suggest that she may in fact be a little hurt by Stolas' betrayal, but any guesswork about her character like this is obliterated the next time we see her in Season 2, Episode 1. Let me just...
I know still being married isn't a big enough occasion, but to be fair, it's no picnic being married to a boring stiff like Stolas. No! Stolas is terrible in bed! I swear to he just lays there staring at the wall and I have to do everything. It's embarrassing! I'm glad one egg fell out of me so I could stop pretending to want to his scrawny twig ass.
Why are you still here? You leave with Fia on weekends, but then you stay around the house despite everything.
I like tormenting you. I want to keep reminding you of what you did. What do you think the rest of the Goetia family will think?
You can't just have your characters announce how they feel. That makes me feel angry.
So that whole motive for her character of wanting to preserve her reputation is absolutely axed by her loud, crass complaints about her sex life. If she cared about how her socialite peers viewed her, as suggested previously, why would she openly blab at length, very deliberately, about how awful her marriage is at a very public soiree that she put together? That's obviously not what she cares about then, okay? So maybe she has feelings for Stolas? Again, we are told that no, she does not in this episode. Stolas himself says this, but we also hear it from Stella. She outright says that she likes to torment him and to hold this infidelity against him. If we're being generous to the writers, maybe she's lying? But good writing gives you something to work with, and the writers haven't given us any indicators of Stella loving Stolas at all. It's like how the writers of the series Sherlock were just telling us how clever Sherlock is, but not showing us how he figures anything out, and that's bad writing. So we're back to knowing nothing interesting about Stella as a character. There's just nothing to her. Anything we could have possibly picked up about Stella throughout the entire series is just shut down. She's not scared for her reputation, she's not in denial about her gay husband, she's not suffering in any visible way, and if she is, it's the writer's job to have shown us, even a little. She's just a meanie, and that's all there is to her. Any expansion on her character from this point would have to come from a completely different angle. You see what I mean? The writing staff just gave up on her, and I don't know why. They completely wasted this character. Okay, complaints are all very well and good, but could this have been done better? Absolutely. This is a comedy based in hell, so while there is no reason for the characters to be good people, that does not excuse one-dimensional writing. You can have a character be a bad person and still be interesting. Go further, have them be a bad person and an outright villain, and they can still be interesting. To look at some similar shows, consider BoJack, or the Gecko Rabitovitz agency in BoJack Horseman, Bill Sr. in F is for Family, even Heather and Alejandro in Total Drama, and that's a lowbrow Canadian animated sitcom for tweens, come on. I think the best answer is to undo the one-dimensionalizing of Stella that happened in Season 2's first episode. Pretending that didn't happen, what could have been done with Stella? We know from those Season 1 episodes that reputation concerns her. I think this is the most compelling angle to take. Maybe that's her being a product of her environment. Maybe her parents terrify her. And to crawl back to them, rejected by the husband they set her up with, might entail some harsh consequences. Stolas' fathering a child is canonically confirmed in Season 2, Episode 1, to be an insurance policy for the Goetia. So maybe Stella's family had been desperately trying to shoehorn themselves into royal circles, so marrying Stella off to this little contingency plan prince was the perfect plan for their own interests. That could make her parents desperate. Lose that connection to royalty? Absolutely not. This also goes some way to explaining Stella's low enthusiasm parenting in Season 1, Episode 2. This was her parents' design, not hers. Maybe because of whatever consequences might come from her parents' anger, maybe Stella's hit on Stolas in Episode 5 is a desperate attempt to preserve her dignity, because her parents see no dishonor in a tragically departed husband, as opposed to one who left her, for an imp at that. This introduces some actual quote-unquote human conflict between her and Stolas. From his perspective, he's gay, in love with someone else, and, well, just generally uninterested in her. From her perspective, there are no other options. The conflict here could be Stella trying to claw Stolas back for self-preservation, the only way she knows how, the same way her parents probably did, with screaming and violence. That's my personal headcanon, but you could definitely do something else. Comment if you've got any other ideas. In a nutshell, Stella's main issue is lazy writing. Villains introduce conflict. As zany and interesting as the Helluva Boss universe is, it isn't a replacement for a story. And stories require some sort of conflict. Stella could have been a fantastic source of this conflict, but instead her one-dimensional meanie status actually detracts from the story around her whenever she crops up. Well, that's it for this video. I do hope that we see something good from Stella in later episodes. If you like that, check out the rest of my channel. I promise you won't have to wait an entire year again for the next upload. Bye bye!